Alright guys, what's happening? Welcome back to another episode of We the People, where the people come for the truth. So what do we got going on? We got the congressional hearing for the Somali fraud, right? Billions of dollars of Somali fraud. Now throughout this whole hearing, and you go watch it for yourself, but throughout the whole hearing, every time a Democrat was called up, they deflected from the Somali people and said that you were being xenophobic. See, if you think Somali people are fraud in the United States, well, you're xenophobic. You're Islamophobic. You're a racist because they're black people. Now they're black people. But according to Somali people, they're saying is that we came on planes, not with chains. That is disgusting, bro. We came on planes, not in chains. But now that ICE is rounding them up, well, now they want to be black and they say that ICE is racist. They're just rounding them up because they're black. Now the question is, what do we do with it, right? Do we play the game, the little game that the Democrats always want to play? You know, you're a racist whenever you call something out. That's their ammo. Because most white people, right, and if you listen to them in the committee, that white males are more dangerous to our communities than Somali people. White men. That's what was said. Now, they didn't show the lady who said it out her mouth on video. They kept it trained on the witnesses at that point. But yeah, that came out of a Democrat's mouth, that white men are more dangerous to our communities than the Somali fraudsters. But yet they call us racist. We're the racist ones. The white men I know are working. Especially, it's not even 5 o'clock yet. We're all working. We're not off. I was a Democrat, and you just looked at me and told me, and to all you Democrat men, you little soft ass dudes, man, they just said that you were more of a threat to the community than anyone. What do you do with that? What do you do with that? You know why we're a threat, right? Because we make the world go around. That's why we're a threat to them. See, they want weak-minded people like Somalis, right? That can't even pass the IQ test. They can't even pass the IQ test, let alone learn English and speak proper English. They're a country with incest. Nah, man. Nah. We're done with the Somalis, but most of all, we're done with the Democrat Party. I want y'all to check this lady out. I want you to see how she tries to demonize President Trump. But at the same time, you know, the 3 witnesses that are sitting there, well, they're from Minnesota. And they want to talk to them about their, you know, one of their people that was just killed. I find this, it's appalling. But I want y'all to check it out. Let me know what y'all think. Don't forget, man, this is the people's desk. This is where your voice is heard. And once I start hearing your voice, we're going to take a whole session just to talk about what you guys got to say. Because that's the most important thing, is to hear what you guys got to say and spread your voice all across the internet. So let's go. Get down in the comments section and tell me what you think about the video. I love y'all. Make sure you hit that subscribe, like, and share. I really appreciate it. God bless each and every one of y'all, man. And I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.
I'd like to start with the UC request, an article from the Washington Post titled, "Trump Amplifies Conspiracy Theories on Killing of Minnesota Lawmaker." As we know, the president shared a video.
Without objections ordered.
Thank you. So I want to start with this question for the lawmakers here from Minnesota. As you know, Donald Trump has been posting these conspiracy theories about the linking Governor Walz to the killing of your former speaker and insinuating that Governor Walz had something to do with it. Can you please raise your hand if you think this is an appropriate action by the President of the United States? Raise your hand, please.
I'm not doing a raise your hand. I'm happy to comment on it.
Sure, is it appropriate for the president to do that?
So the person who murdered our colleague, Speaker Melissa Hortman, and her husband, Mark,
answer the question. Do you think it's appropriate for the president of the United States
evidence saying
to cause violence against a sitting governor
was ordering him to do it? I know the facts will come out in the case, and we need to be respectful of the Hortman family, and we need to let this play out in the courts.
That is unacceptable. It is inappropriate to the highest degree for the president of the United States to be sharing conspiracy theories that are obviously going to lead to violence directed at Governor Tim Walz. Now, moving on to the issue here today, we all care deeply about combating waste, fraud, preventing corruption, and holding bad actors accountable. Unfortunately, this country has seen an unprecedented avalanche of such abuse in the past year, all stemming from the Trump administration, the most corrupt and the most wasteful administration in American history. It is truly amazing that the majority moved so quickly to hold basically an emergency hearing on the situation in Minnesota without ever one time having held a hearing on the national crisis that is the Trump criminal enterprise being run out of the White House. I don't even know where to begin. Maybe the Republican majority would be interested in holding a hearing on the $50,000 cash bribe that Borders' Tom Homan received from FBI undercover agents in a kava bag. Or how about a hearing on the $400 million bribe that Donald Trump presented by multi-billion-dollar companies in the form of the White House ballroom that Donald Trump seems most obsessed with? Do Republicans have any interest in holding a hearing on that corruption scandal? Or the fraudsters and the criminals that Donald Trump has pardoned? He freed George Santos, convicted of theft of public funds. He pardoned Paul Walzak, convicted of millions of dollars in tax fraud after Walzak's mother raised money for Trump's campaign. He released the former president of Honduras, sentenced to 45 years for flooding the United States with oceans of cocaine. And these are just a few examples. I haven't even brought up Doge and Elon Musk corruptions, Trump's firing of inspectors general who are in place to root out fraud, and career U.S. attorneys who are doing the bidding of Donald Trump in prosecuting his personal and political enemies. Is there any interest in holding an oversight hearing on any of those issues? Now, I want to talk about one specifically appalling instance of blatant corruption in the Trump White House, reported by the New York Times.
All right, what's up, guys? We the people, where the people come for the truth. Welcome to the People's Desk. And I need your opinions on this, because if you listen to the Democrats, right, this is supposed to be the Somali fraud case, right? But yet the Democrats want to talk about President Trump and his empire that's coming out of the White House. These people are stupid, bro. And they don't want to help the country at all. They want to destroy our country. The Democrat Party is compromised to a degree that I don't think it can be saved now. And that's a crying shame. Because I used to be a Democrat, and what they used to believe in, I believed in. And I don't know what happened to them. But this has got to be enough. Now, let's listen to what Trisha's got to say about this Somali fraud real quick.
Some amounts of money. The government is now estimating, and this is the GAO, so this is nonpartisan, $600 billion in fraud that is being lost, not just through Minnesota, but all kinds of blue states throughout the country. I mean, we just learned today from the HUD director, Scott Turner, that millions of dollars, nearly $100 million, went to fraudulent housing programs in Minnesota. Come on.
we have found that there is likely over
Not only in Minnesota, but if you live in Baltimore, houses that you would normally have to spend $400,000 on to buy, they're Section 8 houses now. Because nobody has the money to buy them. And Section 8 money is guaranteed money. But they're getting brand new homes as Section 8 housing. And that's ridiculous. And that's not including all the checks you get. School teachers getting food stamps, and it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
$84 million in eligible assistance that was given to the state of Minnesota during the Biden administration, including almost $500,000 in improper assistance to over 500 dead tenants. Over $84 million of hardworking taxpayer money that was shelled out during the Biden administration in improper assistance and serving over 500 dead people with almost $500,000. This is a lack of stewardship. It's gross negligence.
The fraud faucet keeps on dripping, and we're not talking daycares anymore.
When a Somali goes to the doctor, magically, they forgot how to speak English, so they need an interpreter there. So the county brings in an interpreter at $100 an hour, minimum 8 hours, to interpret what the doctor is telling the patient. And then remember, the interpreter has to get to the doctor's office or the hospital. How are they getting there? The transportation company, and then they got to get back home. And that patient had to get to the doctor's office. How? Transportation.
Oh, so how much are we paying the interpreters and their drivers?
Almost 900 of them are Somali owned. So in the second video, Nick Shirley and I went to 16 of them. I've actually been to about 70 of them. They don't exist.
Whoa.
So transportation companies that transport no one. Sounds like something we should be looking into.
Yeah.
Covered the other day, and one of our spending bills making its way through Congress was a $1 million earmark from Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, which was an earmark that was supposedly going to a substance abuse clinic, which actually happened to be housed in a restaurant and run by 3 individuals that share the same residential address, according to their IRS paperwork. Tons of red flags.
Yeah.
So this is what we saw with the fraud involving the daycare centers. Now we see other earmarks coming directly from members of Congress where it seems fraud is being perpetrated as well.
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar was, quote, at the top of the suspect list. Can you elaborate?
Well, we have to disclose annually our financial statements. And, I think it's public knowledge what the salary is for Congress, and it's been the same. I've been here 9 years. It's been the exact same, $174,000 for 9 years. Omar's been here maybe 5 or 7 years. But regardless, her net worth just out of nowhere skyrocketed. We know it's tied to a venture capital or private equity fund, some type of investment, 2 investment funds that her husband's running. We have a lot of questions about where the money came from. How do you make that much in fees in a short period of time?
Is the Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, is this a case that could be referred to the Ethics Committee?
Absolutely. The Ethics Committee's sole purpose in life is to investigate members of Congress.
Will you refer her case to the Ethics Committee?
Absolutely. And I think that there are going to be a lot of members that will encourage the Ethics Committee to take this up, because it's just a simple question. It shouldn't take very long. One little session with the Ethics Committee, with basic questions, how did he amass this much money? And then if they're not satisfied with the answer, then they can certainly get those financial records.
I want to say myself, I'm very interested in that myself. I would like to know what Ilhan Omar and her new husband had to say. But I also would like to know what her brother has to say about marrying Ilhan Omar to get citizenship into this country. interesting questions. Questions that should be answered. Also, how far does Ilhan Omar's arm go in this Somali fraud? Right? And to the Democrat Party that's demonized white people, you people are stupid, bro. Literally. Stupid. But go on. Do your thing. We'll be Nazis and Hitler and all that stuff if that's what you want us to be. You idiots. You are idiots, man. I can't believe you would even say that to an American. You know how disgusting that is, bro? My grandfather fought in World War II, you piece of shit. You don't even deserve to be called an American. Hit that subscribe, like, and share. And be waiting for more.